We tend to predominantly think about the European Union as a benevolent European project with cosmopolitan, progressive, and inclusive overtones. In fact, the European values made explicit in Article 2 of the Treaty on European Union address among all the democracy, the rule of law, human dignity, minority rights, and non-discrimination. In this, we tend, however, to overlook the complex European past, which includes a more problematic history of thinking about Europe and forms of European integration, as emerged in the 1920s and 1930s, for instance, around ideas of a Germany-led European project or a new European order, as well as thinking the form of European colonial expansion and imperialism. This brings us to the dimension of European integration that is almost forgotten, but has now returned under the notion of the colonial Europe. In fact, the European past not only includes the federal and the integrationist ideas of Europe that were to make sure that totalitarianism was kept at bay. The very same European integration project that started in the 1940s and the 50s included an important component of safeguarding European countries' colonial positions, in particular those in Africa. In fact, the recent European past of ever closer union also includes difficult legacy of colonialism and then decolonization. These dimensions are equally part of the process of European integration. In fact, the EEC of 1957 emerged also as a response to the idea of safeguarding the so-called Euro-Africa, while the famous Schuman Declaration of 1950s includes the sentence, "With increased resource, Europe will be able to pursue the achievement of one of its essential tasks, namely the development of the African continent." And it equally comes through the idea of Euro-wideness, the implicit idea of an original core to Europe, based on the wideness, which is now increasingly a topic of debate of historians and other scholars. This largely neglected past represents itself frequently, for instance, in the various WOC, Black Lives Matter, and the colonial movements throughout Europe, which are specifically about justice for post-colonial citizens, or people with migration backgrounds, or people from the Global South. Significant questions remain to be addressed. What do we know about the participation of people with identities tied to the colonial past of Europe, or with the migration background generally, in international mobility? What do we know about equality of opportunity? And what do we know about their experiences? To what extent should the Erasmus Plus program raise awareness of the colonial past, in particular as a part of the pan-European project? To what extent is this colonial past part of the discussion about European identity? How could Erasmus Plus contribute to a more inclusive European identity and the strengthening of sensibility around issues of decolonialization and the evident political presence of Europe to this day beyond its own borders? Erasmus project should aim to bring awareness of Europe's colonial past and its long-term effects that continue until today.